Now, before we even start this, I'm gonna let y'all know now. My list may be chat, but I can still fuck y'all bitch any time of the day and have anime on in the background. We watching Yu Yu Hakusho and this shit. But nah, it's a cankersaur. I ain't gonna capture y'all. It's just a cankersaur. That shit hurt to sit up there and bite down and everything like that. And then it's also 1 a.m. It's also 1 a.m. and I'm over here trying to do this. But I've been seeing these on my recommendation page for a minute now. Like, look right here. We got what if Bardock turned Super Saiyan against Frieza? What if Vegito never unfused? And I ain't gonna lie, those are like some dope ones for real. Or the Namekians. We definitely know who the Namekians are because of Daima. We're gonna keep that a buck. But right now we got what if the Saiyans listen to Bardock by Carthu's Dojo. I ain't gonna lie, I've been seeing his face pop up a lot. No hate at all, but I just feel like he the best one at this stuff. I ain't even hating on anybody else who do it, but I don't know. I'm not even going by subscribers. I'm going by illustration. It's probably wrong to do, but it's like people look at my videos and they'll be like, "Fuck this nigga," and I don't even blame them. I barely edit the shit, but I'm not gonna lie though. These have been intriguing me though, seeing these so many times. But I really like for so many years actually, but I've never clicked on one video. Not one at all. So we're gonna go ahead and try to look at this one real quick. I'm still going live and everything like that. I'm trying to stay more consistent on here, but it's hard, bro. I've been going through some shit. I ain't gonna lie, I've been going through some major shit, but we make it through. Now we'll go full screen first.
Everyone remembers the original Bardock special, right? The one that Toriyama liked a lot. He gave a nod to it in the manga and even said it was canon until he decided to make Dragon Ball Minus. You know, the old Bardock who could see the future of his people, but is too late to do anything about it. And even if he wasn't too late, he can't convince the Saiyans to join him. Okay, but hear me out. What if Bardock did convince the Saiyans? What if Bardock's rebellion actually happened? So here we are. Bardock is badly wounded from his fight with Dodoria, and he makes his way to the bar that the Saiyans are hanging out at. I don't think this is supposed to be all of the Saiyans, but since Toriyama says not many Saiyans are alive at any one point, this is still a decent amount of them. Tangent aside, Bardock tells the Saiyans what's happening. The death of his...
These niggas was going through genocide even before Frieza at this point. These niggas was getting packed up by any other planet. Tell me I'm wrong, because Akira Toriyama did say that. And I have a book that even stated that too. I think it was during the Saiyan saga. Or it was some other type of book. I forgot. But tell me these niggas was not getting packed up back then. You would be a damn lie. And I'll tell you that. I will tell you to eat a dick real fast, real quick.
Team, the attack from Dodoria, and Frieza's plan for Saiyan annihilation.
I already played with mine.
Original, the Saiyans actually believe him. Frieza's looming ship has already caused enough concern among them, but Bardock, a Saiyan warrior with a power level near 10,000, being so badly beaten, could only be done by one of Frieza's elite fighters. Now, this is where our setting makes the biggest...
Zarbon zesty as hell, and Dodoria fat as fuck. Dodoria like John Jones of Dragon Ball. Still a little bit zesty. Never heard of it. I ain't even gonna say that. Let me continue this shit.
Difference. If we knew for sure that Bardock tried to make a rebellion in the Dragon Ball...
Wait, hold up. Is that real? Dragon Ball Minus? I thought he was dissing Dragon Ball Super. Y'all let me know if that's real, because I ain't gonna lie. That'd be crazy, and I never read it, and I feel bad now.
Minus version of events that give us a month between Bardock sending Goku to Earth and Frieza destroying the planet. However, the Bardock special is far faster paced. There is very little time between Bardock being ignored by the other Saiyans and Planet Vegeta's destruction, so we don't have much to work with here. Assuming Bardock flying at Frieza's ship sped things up, and that Bardock was slow to get around Planet Vegeta, we may have a few hours if we're being generous.
He held his own though.
Back
it was either that or just die.
With the other Saiyans on Bardock's side, word begins to spread. Saiyans are sent flying around the planet to inform their comrades, and within the hour it takes to gather as many as possible, Bardock is slightly healed by a rejuvenation tank. He's mostly back to full strength, but they can't delay. Frieza could attack at any moment. Bardock is surprised to find not only a majority of the Saiyans are outside his medical room, but also most of the elite Saiyans have joined them as well. Another quick side point, the tiers for Saiyans changes every interview, I swear.
Bro, I'm looking at the lineup, bro. I don't give a damn if we go on by just that time period. The only elite I'm gonna see is literally just Vegeta. And King Vegeta was a bitch. That nigga got hold every chance you seen that nigga on screen. Even the Dragon Ball Super movie hold his ass. I'm not about to sit up there and act like it was anything otherwise. And look at that nigga all the way on the right. Who fucked your hairline up? I can't even get mad at Vegeta's no more because your shit just look weird, bro. You like a serial killer. Tripped out. And I see that nigga on the right beside Nappa. I ain't gonna talk about him though. Nigga, King Vegeta, how you get hit with a Shoryuken and you out in one punch, dog? And mind you, power levels is bullshit.
So I'm just going to use this system. The only super elites are Prince and King Vegeta. The elite Saiyan warriors are Nappa level fighters, mid-level.
I ain't gonna lie, putting Nappa above King Vegeta. I got all types of hate for King Vegeta. You let your people get slaved in. Y'all a warrior race, but y'all let yourselves be enslaved. And yet y'all boast about being the ultimate warrior race. That shit was crazy to me. No cap.
Saiyans are Raditz tier fighters, and finally low-class Saiyans are Goku level, ignoring Goku's training and Zenkai's, of course. Bardock asks these elite Saiyans if that means King Vegeta himself is leading their battle, but an elite steps forward and shakes his head. The king went to Frieza's ship to have words with the Emperor, but he's been gone far too long, and there are no lines of communication available. Given Bardock's own testimony, they fear the worst fate has befallen their king, and they'd be right. As Frieza said himself on Namek, he handled King Vegeta personally before destroying the Saiyan homeworld. The disappearance and presumed death of King Vegeta ignited a fire in the Saiyans. Bardock raises his bandana high and proclaims that the Saiyan blood that coats it will not be the only blood spilled today. As he ties it back to his head, the Saiyans cheer. It didn't need to be said. The Saiyans are simplistic and follow not only the strongest fighter, but the strongest fighting spirit, and none was more fierce than Bardock's now. Even more, their new leader represented something terrifying to Frieza.
And see, this is the Bardock that I actually like, bro. I don't really, I still like the newer version of Bardock, but this one raw as hell. Like he really got down and he really got busy. But I could see why they had to sit up there and knock him off though, for real. And you could see into the future. You gonna ruin every plot known to man.
Saiyan born with no potential who became powerful. The very dormant power that Frieza would rather eradicate than ever be forced to face head on. With their new leader organizing them and the disappearance of their king fueling their desire for rebellion, the Saiyans form a true army for the first time in Saiyan history. Had this been a different universe, Saiyan unification could have led them down a different path, creating a peaceful future that allows them to truly tap into their potentials with each passing generation. But this militia is not in Universe 6, and even if it was, they have an emperor to overcome before they can ever achieve a future like that. Some of the elite Saiyans ask where Prince Vegeta and Nappa are. They'd be great assets for the coming battle since Vegeta's power even eclipses his father's despite being just a child. Someone relays that Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz have just gone off-world to conquer a planet in Frieza's name. The muttering in the crowd becomes a roaring discontentment. Their finest warrior, Planet Vegeta's brightest future, the Prince, was being used as a lapdog for Frieza even now as he schemes to destroy the Prince's kingdom. One Saiyan elite goes to open a line of communication with the young Prince so he can know of the coming battle and to return home, but before he can, Bardock destroys the scouter. The elites look at Bardock with disdain and ask what he thinks he's doing, but Bardock asks them the same thing. Every transmission sent out over scouters can and will be picked up by Frieza's men. That's why the Saiyans were gathered by word of mouth. They can't risk the rebellion.
See, that's meathead ass nigga activity. And if this is gonna go into Super, then they know who gave out those scouters, and it was Frieza. So you dumbasses is about to sit up there and just let them know your whole plot. They got your whole formation on lock at that point. That man, if Bardock wasn't there, they would have already been done for. Maybe King Vegeta would have been smart enough to realize that shit, but nah, that nigga was the first one off.
being discovered early. Time is already limited as it is. The Saiyan elites apologize, and one asks what their plan is. Without Prince Vegeta, their battle power is greatly diminished. Bardock says there's only one way for them to contest Frieza and his men, the Ozaru form. Muttering happens all around them. It has been known that the Ozaru form makes the prince even more powerful than Captain Ginyu himself. If an army of Ozaru descended on Frieza, then Frieza's forces would be crushed, leaving Frieza vulnerable to ambush. Bardock asks who among them knows how to make a power ball. A few mid-class and elite Saiyans raise their hands. Since the power ball lowers the user's power level, they can't risk an elite Saiyan to create it. So the weakest among the mid-class warriors will make one for the entire army. With the power of the Ozaru, even the weakest among them can battle against some of Frieza's strongest men. The regular fodder would be nothing to them, so they can focus on Frieza's higher-ranked forces. They should even be able to take down the Ginyu force should they be around, and then they'll all converge on Frieza himself. With the plan made, the Saiyans let out a roaring cheer. Today, they will be free. There's no reason to work for someone else, no reason to conquer planets in another person's name, and no reason to send their children away on missions of death and destruction. Before the mission begins, an older Saiyan elite takes Bardock aside and says that the plan won't work. As he says this, a vision of Planet Vegeta's destruction enters Bardock's mind once again, but he shakes it off, knowing he's about to change that fate. Destiny is his to control, not the other way around. Bardock tells the elite Saiyan to speak his mind. The Saiyan bows and tells Bardock that even in the most optimistic outcome, they would still fall to Frieza. To truly combine their power, they need coordination. Not everyone is as strong as Bardock is, and no individual Ozaru is stronger than Frieza. Bardock asks what he's suggesting. To run? Call off the whole thing? The Saiyans, and more importantly Bardock, won't have that at this point. The elite Saiyan shakes his head and simply says that they must have a plan for when Frieza arrives. Based on their Ozaru power levels, if they all combine a single blast at Frieza, the power level of that attack would be around 50 million. That would guarantee the win for their forces. Bardock considers the idea and ultimately agrees. He tells the Saiyan elite to inform the others. Fate must be altered at all costs and with no risks. With everyone now on board with the revised plan, the Saiyans gather and fly into the sky. Frieza's ship is in the upper atmosphere, so it's still close enough.
Wait, in Dragon Ball Z, he was still a scientist, right? Does he stay a scientist from then to Super? Or did they basically retcon that, whatever that means, to sit up there and like take that away from him? Or is that not even canon for... Even though everything basically canon now, like Toyotaro basically said, I don't think he actually said everything was canon. But at the end of the day, now it's his to control. But I just want to know if he was, you know, still a scientist. I could have sworn in the moral arc it was mentioned, or some arc.
That they can breathe the limited air available. Meanwhile, in Frieza's ship, Zarbon and Dodoria get ready to go after the Saiyans, but Frieza tells them to wait. I'd rather not lose good soldiers unnecessarily. Both Zarbon and Dodoria are slightly offended by the implication, but choose to bite their tongues. Frieza lets out his foot soldiers as he did originally, except this time Bardock isn't alone, and even worse, the weakest of the mid-class Saiyans creates a power ball. Both Zarbon and Dodoria realize the minute the power ball is launched that Frieza was right. If they had gone to fight, they'd certainly have died. This fodder should serve as enough of a distraction for me to stretch. It seems I'll be handling those pesky monkeys in a more personal way. As Frieza's soldiers fall to the might of a united Saiyan army, the roars echo down to the planet below, shaking the entirety of planet Vegeta. Bardock roars to the other Saiyans that even their planet shakes with excitement for the freedom that will soon be upon their world. As the final soldiers are handled, Bardock and the other Ozaru see Frieza exiting his ship. Your duplicity was expected, but I had hoped for a greater effort. Frieza begins to maniacally laugh.
I'm not gonna lie, these are captivating.
Even a quarter as strong as me. A Saiyan warrior is truly nothing after all. Bardock's face contorts into a wicked smile as he thinks to himself, a single Saiyan warrior may be nothing to Frieza, but every Saiyan united is something that could stand up to an entire universe.
Bardock the Malcolm X in Dragon Ball.
Shouts to the other Saiyans to attack now. The Saiyans all open their mouths and fire their most powerful blasts. As they fly towards their singular target, they all merge into one unified attack, larger than any blast that Frieza had ever seen. Frieza's scouter begins to count up. As Frieza's own special model, it can go higher than other scouters, but the blast breaks the scouter.
See how nobody uses scouters no more in Dragon Ball?
Fear crosses Frieza's face as he's engulfed by the attack.
Or even in Dragon Ball Super by the Frieza Force and everything like that, I've never seen them use a scouter no more. They know that shit don't work no more. They tired of getting played.
The Saiyans begin to cheer, but Bardock tells them to stay focused. The smoke hasn't cleared yet. The silence is palpable, but as the smoke clears, Frieza is gone. Only scorch marks remain on his ship where he once stood. Some let out a sigh of relief, and others begin to cheer again. Bardock is about to join them in accepting victory, but before he can, pain overcomes him. The words in his head echo from Kanasa, "As it is with my own people, there will be nothing but destruction for yours." Then, another vision of Planet Vegeta's destruction. Bardock snaps back to reality and yells at everyone to keep their guard up. The fight isn't over yet. One elite starts to laugh at him. He says that no one could have survived a blast that powerful, not even Frieza. You monkeys should really stop underestimating
he could transform all the way
With
back
10
then.
death beams, Frieza wipes out dozens of Saiyans. Or perhaps you should stop overestimating yourselves. Your king had a similar problem. Frieza grabs one Ozaru's head and snaps his neck, and it cost him his life. Bardock watches in horror as Frieza easily outmaneuvers every Ozaru. This form he's taken is different from anything Bardock has ever seen. No one knew Frieza could transform, and a form powerful enough to survive that blast was unbelievable. The Ozaru form doesn't make the user slower, just less precise if anything, and a bigger target at worst. But Frieza's form was just a better Frieza in every way. Knowing the blast had such a high power level, Frieza went straight to his final form.
When Frieza transformed into that transformation, bro, he was more mobile, faster. He really was just better in every single way. Just made him more of a fighting machine, a more death machine, whatever the fuck you want to call him. But bro, this Frieza is Frieza is the biggest menace to anime, and nobody can say otherwise, dog. No Aizen, no Madara. You got a nigga with straight hate coming at you, with a smile on his face, usually hovering around his little pod. This little nigga annoying.
Though he's still only using 50% of his power. The Saiyan army was down to a few dozen in a matter of moments. Bardock couldn't move. As a last act of defiance, Frieza sends a single death beam at the power ball. One Saiyan jumps in front of it, but it just went through him, killing the Saiyan and destroying the power ball in the process. All the Saiyans begin to shrink, and now they truly know this is the end. Frieza flies back to his ship and looks down at them. "Turn around and look at your planet, monkeys." As they do, Frieza begins to build up a death ball. "Turn back around." The light radiating from the attack made it clear what they would see.
And that sounds like something Frieza would say.
"I condemn you to see your own fate and agonize over the form it takes." That was what broke Bardock. The very words he heard on Kanasa being thrown right back in his face. He tells the other Saiyans that if they're going to die, they at least have to try. Their most powerful attacks one more time combined. The remaining Saiyans pull themselves together and charge another massive attack, but this one is far weaker than the first by millions. The death ball simply engulfs their attack. Destiny had come no matter how hard Bardock had tried to alter it. And on that day, the fate of Planet Vegeta and the Saiyans that called it home was sealed. As Bardock ceases to exist, one final vision enters his mind. His son is a man. He faces down this vicious form of Frieza's and even gains golden hair. "A Super Saiyan, huh? Not bad for low-class punks like us. Good luck, Kakarot." Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and thank you. So
Nah, but for real though, I'm gonna start looking at more of these. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to watch longer ones or more shorter ones. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter to me, especially by him, because it's actually pretty goaty. And I'm also pretty happy that they kept the same fate It wouldn't have made no sense for them to win, honestly. It wouldn't have made no sense. All of them was really just meatheads. I don't think any of them did really any training for real. At least any very hard training. By the looks of the movies, or the movie of it, all they did was slack off. Majority of them. At least in Z, I forgot about Super. I think in Super they was pretty solid. But they had to keep the death. If you didn't die, it wouldn't have made no sense. So I agree with this 100%. This definitely, it sounds like what would have happened if it would have been a whole different route and they actually listened to Bardock. But like I said though, I'm gonna try to be back more consistent. This canker sore hurt like a motherfucker, bro. I'm telling y'all. Like y'all don't know. Bro, whoever get canker sores, bro, I pray for y'all. This shit ain't no joke. So let me know if y'all want me to do longer ones of these. I'm gonna stay doing short ones for a while. There's definitely longer ones that I would not mind sitting up there watching by Carthus Dojo. I appreciate you, Carthus Dojo, for going ahead and making these. Just by watching this one, first one I ever watched from you, it was great. Everybody else, go ahead and keep tuning in to the shit because yeah, I'm definitely a nerd at heart and I'm definitely watching this shit. I feel like next one is going to be what if Bardock turns Super Saiyan against Frieza though. But there's two types. I wonder if he combined this one with that one, but we're gonna find that out next time. Y'all have a good one though. Still streaming on Twitch, tune into those. I don't stream much on TikTok or YouTube, so y'all gotta tune in, help me out. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, and also go wash your ass. Ain't nobody got time to be smelling your funky ass, bro. It's been 3 weeks. Wash your ass. It ain't that hard. It ain't that hard. But me, I haven't showered in like 2 months and I'm just fine.
I know you want what I got. I've been sipping drink, I've been sipping dry. Gun inside my pants, bitch. I can barely walk. I cannot buy happiness, but I know love is pop. I know you want what I got. I've been sipping drink, I've been sipping dry. Gun inside my pants, bitch. I can barely walk. I cannot buy happiness, but I know love is pop.